Hello. In this video, I'll be showing you a few things that you can do in order to prepare for your fight with Margit, the Fell Omen. This will be less about how to defeat Margit, but more about where to get useful items and where you can find enemies that will allow you to collect plenty of runes to level up and purchase new equipment. First, it will be most important to gather a few key items that will be useful throughout your entire playthrough of Elden Ring: the Spirit Calling Bell and the Flask of Wondrous Physic. Let's start with the easier item to acquire, the Spirit Calling Bell. You can collect the Spirit Calling Bell only after you've met Melania by resting at 3 different sites of grace. Once you've met her, travel to the Church of Ele, where you met the traveling merchant Kale. Wait for nightfall, and an NPC named Rena will give you the bell. The bell allows you to summon spirits to aid you in your battles. Next, I'd recommend traveling to the 3rd Church of Margit to get the Flask of Wondrous Physic. This item functions similar to your flasks of Crimson or Cerulean tears. However, with this item, we can customize what we want the flask to do by mixing crystal and sacred tears. For example, I have the green spill crystal tear and the crimson crystal tear mixed, so my flask will restore half of my health and increase my total stamina for a period of time. You can change this to be a variety of different things, but no matter what you choose, it will undoubtedly prove useful throughout your journey. Next, you should try to get Margit's Shackle, sold by Patches in Murkwater Cave. To reach the cave, jump down the Spirit Spring near the Murkwater Coast site of Grace, and past the skeletons and jellyfish under the bridge. Continue down the river, where you'll be invaded by Bloody Fingers Narajas. He's tough, but Bloody Finger Hunter Yura will come to your rescue if you're having a hard time. Defeat Narajas to receive his dagger, Reduvia. Enter the cave by the campsite along the river and explore it until you come across a fog gate. Open the chest inside and Patches will make himself known. Get Patches down to half health and he'll surrender, asking you to spare him. Leave the cave and return later to purchase Margit's Shackle for 5,000 runes. With this, you'll be able to bind Margit to the floor twice in the first stage of battle, giving you a big opportunity for some free hits while he recovers. Another easy place to get yourself some runes will be close by at Murkwater Catacombs. Return to the Murkwater Coast site of Grace and head north. You'll see a statue on the cliff's edge that will point to the door of the catacombs. Descend into the ravine and defeat the Grave Warden duelist waiting for you to receive 1,700 runes and the Battle Hammer. If you travel to the 3rd Church of Marika along the road west of the Mistwood Forest, you likely heard the cries of Kenneth Haight, stuck on top of a piece of fallen castle above a group of goblins. If you speak with him, he'll tell you how his fort was overrun and he needs someone to clear it out. Hear him out and make your way towards the castle by traveling along the road in the Mistwood. On your travels, you'll find a map by a guide stone. Collect the map and keep moving along the path. Next, you'll come across a minor Erd tree. Minor Erd trees are always a great find because they contain tears for you to mix in your Flask of Wondrous Physic. Walk up to the Erd tree and collect a spiked cracked tear and green spell crystal tear. To the left of the Erd tree, you'll notice the entrance to a well of some sort. This is a CO for a river well. Take the lift down and you'll enter a CO for a river. Rest at the site of Grace and take a look around the area. There are a lot of golden runes and smithing stones for you to collect in this first part. There are only 2 types of enemies here. Be careful with the spear enemies. They do damage on their initial stab and their backwards pull. Getting caught in the backwards pull will drag you into a mob and often lead you to getting skewered by the rest of them. There's a lift at the back of the first area that will take you to another zone. However, this zone kicked my ass, so I don't suggest it just yet. Make your way back up to the lift and return to the path you were traveling in Mistwood towards Fort Haight. Once you arrive, enter the fort on the right side. Clear all the enemies out and make your way to the top of the fort. The final Blood Knight located at the top of the fort will reward you with the Ash of War, Bloody Slash. Defeat him, climb the tower, and collect the Dectus Medallion. Before you leave, check the room behind the first firebomb thrower to get a cookbook and a smithing stone. Once you've grabbed everything, return to Kenneth Haight to collect your reward, the Erdsteel Dagger. Next, you can travel along the road to the southeast of the Gatefront Ruins. This will lead you to an area that should be visible on the map, but you may not have explored. There are 2 areas that will be worth your time over here. First of which is an encampment at the top of the cliff. Enter through the Spirit Spring under the cliff at the back to make clearing the camp easier. From here, you can sneak up on a few knights and easily get to the mages that shoot you if you try and enter through the front. Clear the camp for a decent chunk of runes and to collect the Royal House Scroll used to learn new sorceries near one of the mages. The Great Epi, a heavy thrusting sword, is in a chest out front, and some starlight shards are on a rock in the back. South of the camp, you can find the Everjail which seals Bloodhound Knight Darrowwill. There's a stake of Marika right outside the entrance, so if it takes you some time to kill him, you won't have to travel far to try again. Another plus side to this fight is that your runes will be accessible from outside the Everjail. meaning as long as you remember to grab them before fighting them again, you don't have to worry about losing them. Defeat Darrowwill to obtain 1900 runes and the Bloodhound's Fang, a curved greatsword. After doing everything prior, you may want to battle the Tree Sentinel outside the first Site of Grace for an extra level before heading in to face Margit. Defeating the Tree Sentinel will net you 3200 runes and the Golden Halberd. You may not need to do all these things to prepare for your battle, but by doing everything you should have plenty of levels and resources to defeat Margit. If you have any other helpful early game hints, feel free to let everyone know in the comments. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. This is the first video I've ever made, so please let me know how I can improve. I'd like to continue making videos about my experience with the game and maybe help some people along the way. Feel free to subscribe if you want to hear from me again. Besides that, thank you and take care.